Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be this fun watch me work where I'm doing this fun brown and floral nail set. So I'm starting off with my previous design and removing it. So this was my previous design. I did a watch me work on it, and now I'm going to be doing a gel removal. I'm going to be restructuring the nail, and I'll leave timestamps in the descriptions and on the search bar in case you're not interested in watching the gel removal application and you just want to skip straight to the actual nail art itself. But I thought that this might be interesting. Let me know if this is something that you're interested in seeing. Do you want to see the gel removal / rebalancing when my nails are practically 3.5 weeks grown out, so there's a lot of regrowth and the nail definitely has to be very rebalanced. So I wasn't sure if this was something that anyone would be interested in seeing, which is why I left the timestamps in case you just want to skip ahead. But let me know if this is something that you do still want to see or see occasionally, etc., etc. So I'm starting off with this carbide bit. And this is a very, very aggressive bit. This is only meant to go on product. This should not go anywhere near your natural nail. I'm literally just using it to take down the gel that I have on. The gel that I have on is hard gel, so it needs to be filed quite, well, I don't want to say aggressively because you never want to be aggressive. And of course, the video that I have here, I have sped this all up. This is not how fast I work. I'm much more gentle on my nails. It's just, you know, it takes a long time, so I have the video sped up a little bit. But this bit only goes on the product, so it does not touch the natural nail because it can drill right through your nail if you're not careful. I'm also working on a very high speed because I find that working at a high speed with the e-file in reverse actually works the best for me to remove gel product. So as you can see here, with this previous set, I had done an encapsulated nail set, and if you want to check out that other video, I do have it linked in the description. But basically, there's a clear layer on top of the entire nail set. So basically, first what I have to do is get through that clear gel. So you can see going over it a few times, it's going a bit slower while I'm trying to get through that hard gel, and then once I get through it, you can see the design coming off very, very easily because the nail is very, very thin. Now, like I said, this nail set that I had on was about 3.5 weeks old, and I need to do a complete rebalance. The apex is in completely the wrong spot, so I'm filing my nails down very, very thin. So after using that larger, chunkier bit to remove the bulk of the product, I'm going in with this mini sanding band, but I'm still using a very coarse grit sanding band to go on to the product. So again, this bit over here is not touching my natural nail because it is too aggressive for the natural nail. It's only staying on the product, but I'm just using it to help smooth out the nail so that when we put the next layer of product on top, when restructuring and creating the apex and everything, we want the product to go on smoothly. And the larger bit makes everything quite chunky and very rigid because it's just not a very smooth bit, so you want to go in and smooth it. And this pink sanding band over here, sorry, I forgot the word for a second, this one is very, very gentle, so this one can go on the natural nail. So what I'm doing over here is I am smoothing out the ridge of the product and flattening it to make it even with my natural nail, as well as also removing the cuticle. I used to remove my cuticle with just like a cuticle nipper, but I found that using a sanding band just takes less time because I can just do it in one go. I don't have to do a separate attempt at removing the cuticle. And then over here, I'm also using this pointy bit over here. It looks a little bit like scary because it's so pointy, but it's very, very fine. And again, I use this to just clean up around the cuticle. And I'm going to be doing a dry prep method. So I'm not going to be cleaning off the nail with any alcohol or acetone. I'm going to just brush off any of the dust with a brush and then going in with my prep for the product to go on top of. And like I said, I have to restructure this nail. So I'm just using a hand file to shorten the nails a bit. They were getting a bit too long for me. So I'm going to shorten them, reshape them a little bit, smooth out the edges, and then I'm going to go in with hard gel on top. So I am going to be doing an encapsulated layer again on this nail set because I found that it's actually working really, really well for me, especially because I'm doing foils. Sometimes I find that foils chip even when I do 2 layers of top coat if it's right on top. And I've noticed that some people actually mention that in a few of my videos, like asking me how do I get my foils not to just like start falling apart from the nails after a couple of days. So if you're using gels, I would suggest encapsulating those because then it has a really nice protective layer of gel on top of it and it really protects the nails. And I've definitely had some great results with that from the previous set, so I'm going to do that again here. So I apologize that I'm a little bit out of frame. It's very hard for me to stay in frame while filing because I really want to get my face right up into it and see very clearly what I'm doing. But you can see I brought down the product very, very thinly. Now this nail over here, I was showing you my index finger on my right hand for some reason naturally curves downwards. I was showing in comparison to my other nails, they grow out quite flat, but for some reason my index finger grows a little bit crooked, and the natural nail under was starting to get quite long, so I just nipped that off, and I'm going to be building that layer from scratch because I just don't like how the hooked nail looks, but that's like a personal preference. If you're not interested or it doesn't bother you, you don't have to do that. So I'm just using the Morovan hard gel. I went in with a base coat first, and I'm just going to use the hard gel to kind of completely cover up the nail. And now, like I said, I am going to be doing an encapsulated layer, and the encapsulated layer at the end is going to be the structure of this gel, of the set. So I'm not adding any structure, I'm not adding any apex. The nails are extremely thin, they would not last a second. The minute I tried to do anything, they would snap right off. They are very, very thin, and I'm just using this to cover my natural nail, blend it in with the extension, and going to do the apex at the end. And I've just found that this has been helpful for me in preventing my nails from getting too bulky. I noticed that sometimes when I would do the initial layer, like this layer as an apex with the whole apex and everything, as I would layer on my gel polishes and different designs and things, it ended up being a little bit bulkier than I really liked. So I've been finding that this has just worked better doing an encapsulated layer at the end as the structure gel. So again, same here with this nail as well. And for this hand, I'm just using a very, very thin amount of gel, placing it just up to the cuticle, but not touching it, and dragging it. So this will create a nice base for any gel product to go on top of. And now I'm going to build out my index finger over here so that it's not hooked the way that it does when it's grown out. So I left a bit of the natural nail there just because it helps with forming and extending the nail, because I do want to extend the nail. So I'm starting with applying the gel at the free edge and then dragging down along the form. I do also make sure to feather the gel onto my natural nail so that when I remove the form, the structured gel stays on, like the gel stays on my nail and doesn't come off with the form. And then just as what I was doing with the other nails, I'm going to take a thin layer, covering from cuticle towards the end of the nail in a very, very thin layer. Again, the extension that I did is kind of just a replacement of a natural nail, so that doesn't add any structure or any strength to the nail. That's literally just a bit of an extension. So after I have all the gel on and everything is ready to go and I'm ready to file up, I am going to wipe my nails with alcohol. At this point, the dry prep is all finished, the prep is done, everything is finished, and I start by cutting off my index fingernail. I always like making my nails a little bit longer when I'm doing the structure so that I have room to file, because I tend to overfile, and I actually did overfile with this nail. My index finger is a little bit shorter than I would have liked. It's a bit shorter than the rest of my nails, but unfortunately I just didn't have time to undo it and redo it, so it'll just have to stay like that until the next time I have a chance to do my nails. But now we are getting into the art, and I am starting off with this beautiful polish over here. Now for this set, I wanted to go simple but yet pretty and impactful, but not too dramatic, for a very specific reason. Actually, as I'm filming this, I am leaving it to my family that's for my sister's wedding. Basically, I'm getting a little bit excited, so I'm kind of forgetting what I'm saying. My sister is getting married at the beginning of March. I am flying in to my family a couple of weeks early, so when you're seeing this, I'm actually already there, and I wanted to have my nails done while I was there, because I'm going to be there for about 2.5 weeks before the wedding. I am going to have my nails done for the wedding. I'm going to get them done. I decided to treat myself and my sister, my mom, to some manicures, but until then, I'm going to have to, I'm going to have my nails done. And with me, I tend to sometimes get a little bit bored with my nails. I mean, not sometimes. I tend to get bored with my nails very, very quickly. Maybe it's just like the idea of the privilege, I guess. I'm not really sure exactly how to say it, of like being able to do my nails whenever I want, so I can kind of like get bored very quickly. Usually by the 1.5 2 week mark, I am kind of bored. And with a super dramatic nail set, I will oftentimes love it at first, especially with like the previous nail set that I did. It was very different for me. It was very dramatic. The colors were bold. It was very different from what I usually do. And I really liked it initially for the first week. And after 2 weeks, I was like, oh, I want to take these off, but I didn't want to take them off and redo them and then have to do them again a week later for this trip essentially, because I'm not going to bring any of my nail stuff with me, so these nails needed to last. So I would have to redo the whole set from the beginning, basically, if I would have redone them. So I just decided to let them grow out and only restructure and rebalance and redo my nails once. And by the second week, I was getting so bored of these nails and I just wanted to take them off so badly. So you can see here, I actually did that glitter from Light Elegance on the 3 nails that don't have the foils. And I realized that even though it looked really, really pretty and I loved it right now, I knew that when they were all sitting next to each other, it gets so dramatic and it's so beautiful, but I knew that it would bother me within a couple of, after a week or so. Like, it was just so dramatic to the point that I knew I'd get sick of it. I guess that's just like a personal thing. I don't know, some people maybe don't feel that way, and dramatic nail set will always be great, but for me, I just find that if it's too dramatic, I get bored even faster. So you can see here, I actually ended up removing that gel, the glitter gel, from my index finger and my thumb, and I decided to just do it in this very rosy toned brown from Nail Order instead, because even though I loved it in the moment, like I said, I knew that after a week, I would be so bored of it. And these nails, not only do they have to last structurally for about 3.5 weeks, which is no problem. My nails, the previous set was about 3 weeks old as well. They last perfectly fine. It was more like I had to make them last for me to not get bored with them and want to take them off, because I'm not bringing any of my nail stuff with me. I mean, obviously I could always get them done at a salon or even remove them and just have my nails bare for a little bit, but I'm not bringing any of my equipment with me, and that would have either had to be done at a place or I would have to live with it. And of course, this is obviously first world problems, being bored of my nails after a week and a half. And like I said, maybe this is just a bit of a selfish, maybe a little bit of a spoiled kind of reaction, because I get to do my nails pretty much whenever I want because I can. But just for this set, I was like, I need something that's really pretty and really fun and makes me happy to look at, which is why I added in some of the glitter, and I love the foil with the little iridescence to it. Unfortunately, you don't really get to see the whole effect of the foil once it goes onto the nail, because you can't see the whole thing at once, and only such a small part of the foil actually gets transferred onto the nail because the nails are so much smaller. But even still, that was where I wanted the drama to be, and the foil was actually the inspiration for the whole set. I based everything and the colors and the glitters around it, but I knew that I would get bored of it a little bit too quickly. So I added a bit of glitter, and the rest of it I kept neutral because I wanted it to be pretty, like I said, pretty and fun, and I wanted to be able to make sure that I enjoyed it the whole time and didn't get sick of it and then be kind of, quote, stuck with it for a while. Again, I understand this is a pretty privileged kind of stance, maybe a little bit spoiled, like I said, but that's just the reality. I wanted to love my nails and not get sick of them. So that's why this set is quite simple in color and design. I mean, it's just this brown and a glitter gel and some foil. Really simple, really easy, nothing too dramatic about it, and yet it's so impactful. I love the foil. I think it really just adds so much interest to the nail, and that's definitely the highlight, I think, of the set. So as you can see here, I have finished everything. I filed up the nails and reshaped them. I did the structure gel with clear gel over top of it. I was supposed to put that in the video, but I guess I decided not to. Maybe I was out of frame and just decided it wasn't worth it, but I did a structure layer with the Nail Order Dura Gel in the shade Clear, so the structure is all there, it's all shaped and filed, and now I am just adding the top coat, which of course always brings everything back to life. I love how the glitter looks, and the colors are just so beautiful, so I am really happy with how the set came out, and now I get to wear these for the next 3.5 weeks, or 2.5 weeks, I think, more closely, until I get them done for my sister's wedding, which is super exciting. So the next videos you'll see from me are actually pre-filmed. I did a lot of pre-filming before this because I didn't want to miss any uploads while I was gone. So maybe I won't be so active in the comments, not really sure. I'll just have to see how everything goes because I will be, spending time with my family. But let me know what you think of this set down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!